This is one of the most breathtaking views in the southwestern region of Antigua. In this dense forest are some of Antigua's key assets: Wallings, Fig Tree Drive, and towering above is Mount Obama. Along the coastline is Cades Bay Marine Reserve, which includes 3 wetland systems, a major reef system, several beaches, and relatively healthy seagrass beds. The southwest region is the most biodiverse. It has the highest rainfall and is home to a variety of tropical plants, marine life, and is an important stopover for many migratory birds that visit our shores. Conservation of this area depends on a joint plan, a plan that involves managing the area in such a way that it maintains the integrity of the environment while generating revenue for conservation management and for the benefit of the local communities and businesses. It requires that we manage the land taking into consideration the sea and vice versa. This concept is called integrated management.
To manage this region, which is also a watershed, meaning that it drains water into one central portion, you have to look at an integrated approach to management. You have to take all of these different factors and integrate them into whatever management plans you have. For example, you can't just look out for the biodiversity or the plants or the animals. You have to take into account the interaction with humans and the interaction with the businesses that exist. Antigua is a watershed. If you look at Antigua, anything that drains from the highest point will eventually end up in the sea. So you have to consider all these factors as a part of the integrated management.
The need to sustain economic growth often overshadows conservation goals. Therefore, it's important that the economic development and management of the natural resources are financially sustainable and provide real benefits to the community.
Antigua and Barbuda, like many of the countries in the region, we're surrounded by sea, and we have a connection with the sea that surrounds us. So we depend on it for our livelihood, for recreation, for the economy on a whole is dependent on having a healthy marine environment. Now, if we are trying to protect the marine environment, what we're really trying to protect is our way of life and our quality of life. So think, for instance, what would happen if our marine environment became so polluted that we couldn't swim there anymore, or if the resources within it became so depleted that we wouldn't be able to catch any fish anymore, or the beach was so eroded that tourists would not want to go there anymore. So we need to start thinking about how that affects the communities that depend on the reefs and the fisheries, how that affects our way of life, how that affects our economy on a wider scale. These are not abstract things that we're talking about. These are real issues that we have to grapple with. And these are issues that are actually now occurring in Antigua and other places around the world. So when we talk about having a healthy marine environment, that's what we're trying to protect, our quality of life. What she has here is that most of this area in front is seagrass.
There are times where they will come and they will set their net from here, go right round. And if you want to see people
in the south coast, you have some of the unique features of Antigua's landscape, but you also have very important marine ecosystems that are still healthy. Several wetlands that are in very good condition, relatively good condition, large areas of seagrass beds, and of course the Cades Reef, where a lot of fishermen still go and catch their resources to sell to the communities in the area. So it's important in that not only is it beautiful to look at, it sustains the communities in the area.
A demonstration project called Ridge to Reef will be mapping the ecosystems and collecting data on what currently exists to determine how it can be maintained. There'll be training sessions within the community to assist the residents with utilizing the resources for their benefit. One of those benefits is ecotourism. The natural scenic landscape has made the southwest coast a major tourist attraction, with more than 10,000 visitors a year, along with local individuals and groups. Those who use the area for their livelihood, such as tour operators, vendors, taxi drivers, farmers, and fishermen, will be the main beneficiaries of this integrated management plan.
Firstly, I think it's fantastic news that an initiative of this nature has been taken. It brings the communities together, the individuals together, so that we can all work as a team.
The forest and coastal areas of the Southwest region have been a source of water, fuel wood, building materials, fresh produce, and seafood, along with products such as wattle for the communities of John Hughes, Saw Colts, Old Road, Sweets, and Cades Bay. These natural assets are constantly under threat from forces of nature, such as hurricanes and tropical storms. However, there are other threats that are man-made.
This stream in particular, the reason why we're sitting here, I want to show you something. The boulders that we're sitting in, all this silt that you see on the ground, this is gut sand. Well, in 1999, I'm sure everybody is in Antigua who's old enough would remember Hurricane Lenny. Hurricane Lenny dumped 22 inches of rain in Antigua. On this side of the island, there are records that there was as much as 30 inches of rain in 2 days on this side of the island. What you're looking at here, all of this, these boulders, all this silt or gut sand, this came down from Hurricane Lenny. Before Hurricane Lenny, there was a man-made structure coming in from the silt trap down into the reservoir. For you to get to that, in some places you have to dig as much as 6 feet and 8 feet down. Everything here came down out of the hill. And this is a healthy watershed. Apart from the area on the other side where there's a lot of lemongrass, the part that feeds into this streamway is covered in vegetation, yet still you have silt coming down. Now, if we have this much silt coming down in a healthy watershed, what do you think would happen in a watershed without any vegetation cover?
Without vegetation cover on this hilly terrain, when it rains, mud, muck, and other pollutants would make its way to the sea and degrade the coral reefs, smothering seagrass beds and mangroves, eventually destroying the marine environment.
I think the fishermen, they are aware, but not that much, because I think awareness brings a change of behavior. And although they know of the damage that can happen, or they've heard of the damage that can happen, if there was no mango swamps and there was no reef and so on, I don't think they really understand. A lot of them really understand. Yes, they've heard of it. Yes, they might have believed a little, but seriousness needs some more education.
When we talk about protecting the marine environment, we think of this large-scale abstract thing, but it doesn't have to be. And it can be something as simple as not dumping litter and in the wetlands that are on the coast, or not leaving your trash on the beach. It's as simple as that. Or on a larger scale, if you have a wetland nearby, you don't go, because a lot of times when we're building on the coastline, a lot of times we encroach on the wetland and we just start backfilling and backfilling and backfilling. And what that does is it disrupts the entire balance of the ecosystem. So it is simple things that we can do individually, but on a larger scale, the country and the government need to make corrective measures and put measures in place that are not going to basically derail the entire ecosystem.
Planning new developments that are a safe distance from the shoreline, putting an end to sand mining, and restoring vegetation in our coastal watersheds must all be a part of a sustainable management plan.
We ensure that we have good waterways. That's like the backbone of the watershed, really. And with Lenny and current rains, 12 inches in a month, 6 inches in 1 week, just a month ago, we found our waterways are in good condition.
Imagine vibrant ecotourism activity that supports the local economy while conserving this natural beauty. The long-term benefits are the growth and development of the ecotourism sector in a way that is environmentally sustainable. With an integrated approach to managing this and other regions of Antigua and Barbuda, we can achieve economic growth while preserving our nation's natural assets.